Hey, how you doing? It's Vic Barry. So, this one tip will change your YouTube videos forever. But here's the thing. There's a good chance you won't be bothered doing it. Whether you're making drone videos, vlogs, makeup videos, walking tours, filmmaking hints and tips like we do here, it doesn't matter. Whatever video content that you're making on YouTube or elsewhere, there is something that I see on a regular basis that a lot of people aren't doing because they just don't really care about doing it. Except if you're some of the biggest creators on the planet, which of course we all strive to be. The biggest creators on YouTube and social media are using this to their full advantage. Whether that's a Mr. Beast.
This is the one. Yeah! Let's go!
Or a Peter McKinnon.
We experience so many defining moments together in these trucks.
They're doing this incredibly well. And here's the thing, you could do it too. I know what you're thinking. If you've been here for a while, you're thinking, oh, Vic is going to talk about, oh, you gotta have a story. The story is super important. No, I'm not talking about story. Story isn't this tip. Although story and structure is hugely important, but it's just not this tip. So if it's not story, you're probably going, oh yeah, Vic, yeah, he's an editor. He's going to talk about the edit. Editing, pacing, how you cut up your videos, snip, snip, snip. Yeah, that's hugely important, but it's not this tip. And for those of you who are thinking, well, it must be color grading or some epic transitions, which are out of date, by the way. Or maybe he's going to say shoot everything in 8K because the video look amazing and you can crop in for ages. That's probably this one tip that's going to change my YouTube videos forever. And I ain't got the money to buy an 8K camera. I'm not talking about good mic audio. That goes without saying because people see with their ears as well as their eyes. Now think about that one. Look, the points that I've just mentioned are really important, especially story and editing. But, I mean, here's the thing. The fact that you kind of thought that was what I was going to say anyway, that says everything. What I am talking about here, and if you get this right, it will add hugely to your YouTube videos, up your production quality, and potentially change your YouTube videos forever. And that is the music, the audio side of it. Now, before you click off this video, please don't, but have a think about why the audience might click off of your video. See, a lot of you just grab any old piece of music. You go, oh, I get that one and I put it into my video. Yeah, that'll do. Here's the thing, again, it won't do. You've got some amazing footage. Maybe it's that 8K footage we spoke about earlier on. Yeah, you got some amazing footage. You spent forever editing it. You spent forever grading it. It looks phenomenal. It looks like right out of a Hollywood blockbuster. It's insane. But you've got the wrong piece of music in there. That completely kills your footage because the journey and story that you're bringing your audience on is being demolished simply because you didn't give half as much thought to the music as the actual video itself. Now, don't take my word for it. Forget about my word for a second. Let's take a look at any Hollywood movie or TV show in, I don't know, the last 500 or 50 years maybe. Music and music cues bring fear, they bring laughter, they bring smiles, they bring tears, they bring an emotion, they trigger an emotion. And if you can trigger an emotion in someone that's watching one of your videos, then it's a win. It's a win for you. It's a win for the algorithm because they're going to stay watching your video for longer. And if they stay watching your video for longer, your retention goes up. And if your retention is good, YouTube just might serve out your video to a few more people. And you're always only one video away from changing your life forever. There's lots of music services out there. I mean, there's tons of them, right? But the one I've been using as a paying customer for years and as a brand ambassador is Epidemic Sound, who are the sponsors of this video, by the way. But how do you find the right music on Epidemic Sound? There's thousands and thousands of tracks on there without even talking about how many 3 trillion sound effects they've got. But what music goes with what? And this is where it all falls down for people because they get something that they like because they like it, but it doesn't necessarily fit the scene that they want to put it into. And that's where it all falls apart. But here's where you can change all of that. Let's think about this. Is it something that's fast-paced, like an action sport, skateboarding, snowboarding? Is it something a bit frantic? Then the music has to reflect that. If it's fast looking footage, then a slow piece of music isn't really going to go well for it. You need something maybe rock, something fast dance, something that's energetic, that's reflecting what people are seeing, and it's also working in their ears, right? It's not a distraction, it's adding to the overall feel. Again, is it slow motion footage? Is it something that's slower paced? Then fast-paced music is not really going to work with completely slowed down footage. Think about it. It's not. It's your brain cannot compute because it doesn't work well. And that's something that you're going to have to learn by trial and error, is what feels right. Now, Epidemic Sound have categorized the hell out of their site, and all of the music from film to rock, and everything is categorized really, really well, and it is easy to find stuff. But what I like to do, and what you could do as well, is start searching for what's in your scene. So for example, is it a beach? Beach scene. Type in beach, see what comes up, whether that's a curated playlist or an album or something that's going to fit. Use that as a starting point to start finding the music. Don't just aimlessly wander around the site trying to find something that works. You want to find the track that works, and I guarantee you, the track is in there. Now, let's say you find a track that you like. What do you do then? You're like, okay, I kind of like that, but I wonder is there anything else like it? So do you have to start wheeling through tons of other tracks? No, because Epidemic have this function, really simple. You click find similar, and it actually finds tracks that are similar to what you've already selected, which is crazy good. Epidemic Sound have this functionality that I have never seen anywhere else. Let's say you like one part of a track for your video. You're like, oh, I kind of like that, but maybe there's too much vocals, or it just goes this way or that way. You're like, oh, I'm not feeling all of it, but I'm feeling part of it. You can actually find similar parts in other tracks that may well work better for you. It's crazy functionality. You can just highlight a part, and it'll go off and find other ones that have got similar musical connotations, notes, beats, whatever. Honestly, you really have to try this to see it in action, and it works incredibly well. The other thing that's crazy, you can download parts of the actual track. So if you're a DJ back in the day, you might be filtering out stuff by frequency, but if you just want the drums, if you want the drum track, you have an option to download all the stems, take out the drums or the bass, or do whatever you want. And once you get it into your editing software, something like Premiere has a remix function, so you can extend the track for as long as you want, or make it nearly as short as you want as well. It's music per video per scene, and that can be a lot of work. So one thing, whether it's using the Epidemic Sound mobile phone app, or you have it on your own speakers at home on the computer, having it playing in the background, that's what I do all the time. When I'm not necessarily looking for something, I'm just going to leave it on in the background, whether it's the trending stuff. I say, I kind of like that, I might know what that would be for, and I'll save it to a playlist. And you can create a ton of playlists and save whatever you want to whatever playlist. So maybe you just like a bunch of tracks and you can come back to them later. It's a great way of finding stuff that you really like, and you go, you know what? I've got a video in mind, and that piece of music is going to be perfect. And you just happen to have it saved out. So please, for those of you who've made it this far in the video, I am really getting hot inside here. We don't really do aircon in houses in Ireland. But yeah, this video up here will also help you out when it comes to making better videos. But please give the music a chance and give your audience what they really deserve.